Everyone, this is a follow-up video to my initial Oura ring review that I did, and it's based around some of the questions that I've been having on comments and feedback on the initial video. So thanks for your feedback and thanks for the likes and subscribing as well. It means a lot to me. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, but unfortunately I've been super busy and it's just been difficult to find time to do this. So hopefully this is going to give the information you need. So I've got a bunch of notes that I've written down in regards to what I think about the ring and answering some of those questions. So the first question I had was around about the colour of this ring. So the one that I've got is called Stealth. So it's kind of a matte finish. And I just like the look of this compared to the kind of shiny piano black look that the other ring has. So if you can see that kind of close up, you can see it's kind of got this matte finish. Now that's good in a way that it looks cool and it makes it a little bit different to some of the other colours. But the downside to this is that because it's matte, it could scratch very easily. I think it may scratch easier than the other rings. I've been very careful with this ring, so I've not worn it when I've been training and doing physical things, so it hasn't got any scratches on it. But just in answer to that question, that is the Stealth ring, and I really like the colour. It looks really cool, and often people kind of notice it as well in your hand. So that's the colour of the ring. In regards to kind of downsides, really, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. First thing is, you have to make sure that you get the right fit. And initially when I ordered this, I was thinking about wearing it on my kind of middle finger, but I found that it just didn't feel right. I kept touching it with my other fingers, and I know over time that might kind of go away, but because the ring has kind of got this unusual shape, it's not completely circular, it's got like a flat section on it. I just found when I had it on my middle finger, I kept playing with it and noticing it on my hand. Now again, that might go over time. I'm not someone that wears rings a lot, so that would probably go, but I just didn't find it very comfortable. So I ended up wearing it on my kind of first finger, really, and that felt a lot more comfortable because my thumb wasn't touching it, and that felt okay. However, it was slightly looser fitting than I kind of really wanted. And sometimes when it's really cold, I notice obviously that your hands aren't as big as they would be because of the blood circulation. So, and I've got very cold hands during the day generally, and so I found that my ring kind of slips off a little bit. So I would say that if you're someone that has kind of poor circulation in your hands, you've got cold hands, that you may want to get a slightly tighter fit just to make sure it doesn't fall off, because if you're kind of gesturing or, I don't know, moving your hands around a lot, this could easily fall off. And that's one of the downsides to the ring, is that it is so small that you can sometimes lose it very easily. So that comes down to a feature that I would like. It would be great if this had a tracking feature on it, because the number of times I have put this down, especially if I'm going to the gym or something, and you know just how you are when you're busy, you sometimes forget where you put things. Well, I found I've put this down somewhere and I can't find it. And I've looked everywhere, and then eventually it turns up. So it would be great if they had some sort of tracking ability in the ring. That would be very helpful, just so you can pinpoint it where it is in your house or wherever it might be. And a couple of times I found this in my car. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I struggle to wear this at the gym because of the type of training that I do. I do a lot of kind of weight training, and I do a lot of strength-based training and kind of physical stuff that involves me doing, like calisthenics, and I simply can't wear this ring. So I just find that I take it off, and then when I come home I forget to put it back on again, and then I have to enter my data for what kind of training I did. So it's a little bit annoying, because obviously when you've got a wristwatch such as the Apple watch, obviously you can just wear that all the time and that's not going to get in the way, whereas this does. You just don't want to break it because you paid a lot of money for it, and they do mention on the instructions not to wear it, if you are doing sort of very physical things. So that is annoying, that you can't wear it all the time. And leading on from that, what I also find annoying is when you add it as an activity on your phone, it comes up with cross training, strength training, blah blah. It gives you different things you can do. But the thing is, cross training, is that referring to like CrossFit, or is that cross training on a cross trainer? It doesn't really give a description, and I think it will be helpful that when they're mentioning the different types of training, like what is it that you're actually doing, because it doesn't go into the detail. Now I think of cross training as a bit like CrossFit or going cross country, but I don't really know. So that doesn't really make any sense to me, and it's very hard to kind of accurately input your data. The other thing that's slightly tricky as well, when you're inputting things like such as weight training, it says the difficulty level, was it moderate, was it hard, was it easy? Now, again, that's very subjective, because what I find easy could be hard to someone else, or what I find hard could be easy to somebody else. So that doesn't really make any sense in terms of calculating how hard you've been training or how well you've been doing something. And I don't really understand how the algorithm works. So I don't know how accurately it's actually putting that information into the data and into its calculations, especially when you're looking at things like HRV and the kind of readiness score and stuff like that. So that's a bit weird. I think that needs some work, because that doesn't really make any sense, and I don't know if I'm accurately putting that information in or not. The other big thing that I've kind of noticed with this ring, and this is really really has annoyed me / pissed me off, is that over the past 3 weeks, so I'll probably say 4 weeks ago now, there was an update that took place, and since I've updated it, the battery on this has completely tanked. And I say tanked, it's gone from me having to charge it every 4 to 5 days to having to charge it every single day, which is unacceptable. I bought this for the sole purpose, the fact that I could charge it up and have it on my body and not have to think about it too much over a period of a week. Yet now I'm having to charge it every single day. The battery is just completely gone. I have seen on forums that this is a problem. Other people are having this issue as well. So I'm hoping that Oura get around to sorting this out. And I hope it's not a physical thing where I have to send this back. I'm hoping it's just a software update or something like that. But yeah, a few of my friends who've got this ring have suffered the same problem. Now, interestingly, the first generation, I haven't heard any issues with the battery on that one, but on this one, I have seen a lot of problems. So that's really disappointing, because this was expensive and I'm not using it currently because I keep having to charge it every day. I keep forgetting, and then, you just get out of the habit and you just think, oh, actually, I can't be bothered to use it. So the whole purpose of this was so that I keep track of my data, and I'm very, very kind of anal about looking at my data and tracking my information. So now I'm not using this because of that problem. So this goes back to a couple of issues with the Oura company. One, ordering times on this ring are ridiculous. I know there's a backlog, and I know these are very popular, so people are struggling to get the ring when they ordered it. Now, I ordered mine on the pre-order, so this was last year, I kind of around about August time, maybe even earlier than that actually. So I did the pre-order, I got it on a special deal, and then I got this ring about 3 months ago. So it took a long time to get it, and the actual ring sizing pack came very quickly. It came within a month of me asking for that. So that was very, very quick. So you kind of think, oh great, I've got my ring sizing pack, I'm going to get my ring at the same time. No, you will not get your ring very, very early. It will take a long time because there's a massive back order. Now, because the company is relatively small and they are, new to this kind of market and what they're doing, the support is also pretty terrible. That's what I've found so far. So I've logged a ticket for this ring, talking about my problem and the battery, and I haven't heard anything back, and that was over 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm really disappointed, because I really want to use this ring. So if anyone from Oura is listening, please get on top of these things, because these are the sort of things that can pull you away from the product. At the moment, the way I'm feeling about this is I'm likely never to buy one again, because this has annoyed me so much. So I just like you guys to be aware of that. You're spending a lot of money, maybe wait for the company to kind of develop and get a bigger team of people before you invest your money, because it's not a joke spending a couple £100 on a ring like this and not being able to use it. So that's my major gripe. Other than that, while I was using the ring and it's been working fine, I've been really enjoying it. But it comes down to the accuracy of the data. And I've heard people saying it's not very accurate because of the things I've mentioned, the way that you input the data. The sleep score, yes, it's kind of useful, but one thing that I found quite annoying as well about measuring sleep is that when you put the ring on, obviously you're wearing it and then you brush your teeth and you wash your face and you get into bed. When you get into bed and you're just lying still, I read at night, so I spend time in it reading, whether it's on a Kindle or a physical book, but the phone or the ring clocks you as being asleep. So when you get your score in the morning, it will say that you went to bed, for example, at 9:30. Well, actually I didn't. I got into bed at 9:30, but I wasn't asleep until maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock, because I was reading or whatever on YouTube or whatever it might be. So that is a bit of an issue, because it's calculating obviously your scores and your edit score based on the sleep data. Well, actually, if it's thinking you're asleep before you actually are asleep, then is that giving you the right data? Is that a bit of a problem with the calculation? I don't know. Obviously, I don't work on, I know how the algorithms work. So it would be good if on the phone you could have a system where you can say, no, actually, I didn't go to bed at 9:30. I actually went to bed at around 11 o'clock, and adjust that figure. That would be something that I'd really like to have in addition to the software, that you can edit and amend those things. The other thing I'd really like is to have a instant HRV reading. So I'd like it so that I could wake up in the morning and I can measure my HRV straight away on the fly. Or I come back from the gym, or whatever, I'm in a position where I'm sitting still and I want to measure my HRV. Currently, the only things I can see that doing that are software that you can get on your iPhone and a Bluetooth strap, or there's a device made by another company called Elite HRV, which you can actually get a finger plug, which you plug onto your finger, and then you can measure that by sitting still for like 6 minutes, and it measures your HRV. This, because it's tracking your information all the time, I don't see why that function can't be available. That would be very, very useful and helpful. Apologies for my phone ringing there. But that would be a useful thing to have, as well as the data that it gives you. So that is my kind of second review on this, guys. And as I said, disappointed in the fact this battery is already gone. I don't know if that's the case for all of them, or if that's going to happen for just as a software issue. I'm hoping it's just a software issue. It's something they can fix quite quickly. As I said, as before, any questions you've got, I've hopefully answered a lot of them there. If you put anything in the comments, I'll do my best to answer as best I can. But yeah, my advice to you would be, especially because of my kind of current issue with this ring, is hold off on buying it until maybe the 3rd generation, where they might solve some of these problems. And maybe you get it's better value for money, and you're going to get something that's kind of it's been in the market for a while. It's been it's had an R&D done on it, and they've solved all these problems, and the support's kind of to a standard where you're going to get your supports queries resolved quickly. And you're investing a lot of money, so that would be my advice to you. Hope you found this useful, guys. I shall catch you soon.